Then once I'm satisfied it works, we'll go ahead and make some links. Okay, I'm back in the shop this morning and it's FJ day. So my game plan, I'll run you through it real quick. I have enough parts to work on the front end of this thing. So I'm going to pull the motor back out, pull the tranny back out. I'm gonna put them together. It doesn't have a torque converter in it right now. I didn't have one when I put it in, so it was all mocked up. We'll throw a torque converter in it, glue the transfer case on because it's just sitting on there. We'll finish the motor mounts, then we're gonna put the front links in it and then try to put the steering on it. I got 2 solid days worth of work I can do on this thing, but we're gonna get after it. Everything on here, minus the drink, needs to be on my motor today. I gotta pull it out and get a torque converter on it. Old Tom hooked me up, sent me these LS engine lifting plates. So we're gonna take a second, weld those together and get them bolted on here so I can pick this motor up easy and not have to worry about breaking anything. So I'm gonna do that. You'll see me pull the air compressor off to put them on. I get out, put a torque converter in this thing. So we're taking the water pump off because, let me show you, the outlet interferes with my throttle linkage. So we're putting a Corvette one on, which comes out right here, and this one's plugged. I'm not running a cooling fan, so it's not going to change anything. I'll show you. As you can see, comes straight out the front. That one's plugged. So it's going to make my life easier. I'm putting it on. Okay, there's that. Then, supposedly, this plate bolts on here. I don't know how. Yeah, I don't see how it all pans out. It doesn't take me all day. I figured out the engine lifting thing. Bolts right there. That one goes on the opposite head, right back there. So, I'll get some bolts, put that on, and she's out of here. Chains are installed. Those little things are on. That's how they go. We'll pull some bell housing bolts out real quick and lift this motor out and put a torque converter in it, the flywheel fixed, starter on it, and we can go back together. Alright, motor is about ready to come out. Whoever engineered this, me, didn't make it so the motor would slide forward at all. It just dropped straight in. So we're going to have to take the motor mounts off the engine. Just slide it out, which is not a big deal. Alright, there we go. Now I can change the flywheel. Well, I just got to make the torque converter line up to it. And then we're good to go. Alright, we'll slip right in here. Put this torque converter in. There we go. One step closer. New flywheel is going on. And then we're about ready to stab the motor back in. Alright, they're in, tightened up. I got Loctite on them, so we're good to go. We can bolt this sucker in there. Almost forgot an important piece. Converting from LS to Turbo 400. We're gonna need that. Stab a few bolts in it. Put this side on. Alright, motor is setting back in under its own weight. Now we'll start adding some accessories and start thinning this table down over here. Get this water pump put on. Be that much closer. Alright, water pump is on. Like always, should have put that on first. We'll take it back off, put it on. Story of my life. Do something to undo it. Alright, we got the bolt in that we couldn't get to. Now we'll go ahead and put the water pump back on again. Sometimes I think I like to do stuff twice. Alright, that's better. On to power steering now. I gotta figure all of it out. So I gotta pull the pulley off and get this new pump mounted into its place, and then we'll get it bolted onto there. We'll be a little bit more complete, and then I can start on the front links stuff. Alright, so I just pulled the pulley off right there. We're gonna zip these bolts out. Pull that out of our way. Take this one, put right back in there. And then we can just press that pulley back on it. That's how she goes. Alright. Got a problem here. This needs to come out. It does, it does. That should work. That Corvette must have had a little bit different setup, but that'll run on it now. Guess if I had to, I could pull that clear off and put the other style on it, but I'd like that style better. So I'm just tinkering around with my belt stuff, trying to figure out how it works and where it goes and all that kind of stuff. I'm gonna slide this over another couple holes and see if that helps. Get it closer. I'd like to use a factory belt, if at all possible. I don't know if it is. We're gonna give it a whirl. Okay, there's one big hurdle out of the way. Engine belt system is on it. I have to pull the intake back off right now, put some knock sensors in it, and then I think we're dang close to having the engine part buttoned up and I can start on the front links. Those are my knock sensors. Intake's off. The old ones got hastily removed and just got the wires jerked out of them. So we'll hurry and pull those out, put new knock sensors, slap the intake back on, away we go. Not much to it. They're back in. We'll go ahead and set this back on. Alright, intake is on it for one of the last times. Front end is setting on the table. We're going to get this thing slid into position, start measuring for link bars. Front end is going in it.
You want me to help? Right there, engine.
Get her a little closer to measure from. Okay, there's that. Too dang close. I think I'm going to go ahead and pull these giant tires off so I can get in there. Trying to figure out how to get my links in here, how I want them. So I'm going to do kind of a reverse triangulated stuff. My top links are going to be parallel. My bottom links are going to come off of here and angle over under the motor on both sides and chase the drive line up. So I need like 11 inches of separation, so this top mount's going to have to come up here somewhere. I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go. That's kind of what I got going. And then I have to make this clear the dampener. So I got to have some space in between there and there, like an inch at least as it comes up. So I got some stuff I'm dealing with. And then once I get that done, I'll cut the frame off somewhere in here-ish and make it come up, over, back down to miss the front end to get my clearance I need. So I got my work ahead of me. See if we can get it done. I'm just trying to figure out everything I gotta have here. So I need like 11 inches of separation, which is right there. So if I cut a piece that's 6.5 inches, that will do it. That'll give it to me. I'll cut two 6.5 inches and build those brackets. Then I'll work on the back ones. All right, we've been doing some calculating and some figuring and some, my dad was here, but he left. So I think I got this figured out. This is gonna be the upper mount. That little thing right there is gonna be the lower mount. Well, the back mount. It's gonna come in and look something like that. It stepped off the frame an inch so I can get a nut in between the frame and there. That's my thinking. I think it's gonna work. I'll show you when I get them all cut out. Now I got to do some plasma cutting on them and get them to work properly, so stay tuned. Darmid to the shop, must be after work.
After work.
So I've been doing some stuff and haven't videoed for a minute. That is one upper link mount. This here is the other mount that goes on the frame. So I needed enough space in between here and the frame to get a nut in there, so I had to step it off. It's gonna set something like that right there. I'll weld them in and then you can see what they're gonna look like. There's my bracket roughed out. Just some 3-inch square tube and my Johnny joint slides right in it. I'll grind it up, make it all pretty. We'll weld them in. All right, I got the rear one tacked in place. Just fixing to tack this one in place. Well, we're gonna put it up, measure our link, and then I'll cut a piece of pipe tack all that together. Then once I'm satisfied it works, we'll go ahead and make some links. 25 inches, and that gives me a link of 34 inches. I want to see this suspension cycle before I get crazy with welding. Put this right there.
Tag on there.
Yeah. I was on my Toyota, not that tag no more.
I bet mine won't either now.
Yeah. One link, one down, one to go.
Now you got to come around here and weld this back on.
All right, so I don't know at what point the camera died. I was working and didn't see it, but here we go. It's mocked up. Top links are in. Both sides. Things are looking up. Tomorrow, bottom links and front of the frame. I got to deal with that still. All right, new day in the shop. We're building the bottom links for this. We are getting these done today. Got them all drawn out. I'll fire the plasma up and we'll get them cut out. So tops are in, build the bottoms, then we can start on the frame. All right, days like this, I wish I had a plasma table. Cutting these all out one at a time is a pain. I'm on my last piece for the front end, then I gotta make the ones for the transfer case mount, but we got this mostly cut out. We're just shaping it a little bit right now. All right, there's that. Now we gotta figure the angles out on it. That's finished product on one side. Now I gotta make the direct opposite for this other side. So I'm not using any complicated mathematical equations, just this pen and my ichrometer to get it where I want it. We'll get it figured out. So this one, that's what it looks like. My bottom links are my triangulated links. That's what's keeping this front end centered in here. So I gotta have one that looks just like this, only backwards. So I should be able to do this. Alright, now we'll just trace a line from that one to that one. That should work. Let's see if they're just backwards from each other. They are just backwards, which is what I needed. So that's gonna work. Just like that, we're cut out. We'll put it on. All right, we're just gonna tack weld this in place right now. There she is. Looks something like that, all put in there. Now I'll figure out my link to the back of this thing and build some brackets on that, and we'll start putting links in it. And then we can try to cycle the suspension, see where we're at. There's that one. There's that one. They should be pointing back to right there. I'm gonna go ahead and get those handled, and then we should be able to cycle this thing. Shop cat made it. Graders is home from school, so what does that mean?
It's the day's halfway over.
Pretty much what it means. I've been doing some stuff in here. I've got this bottom link mocked up, but I was worried about driveline interference, so I went out and I built me a driveline. We're gonna go ahead and put it in here and see what we got. Get the U-joint straps out, and then we slide this thing up in there. See if it's gonna hit before I go crazy and build a bunch of mounts that aren't gonna work anyway. So these are the troubles you run into when you're building a one-off vehicle. All right, I gotta remember there's a definite hot spot in the middle of this that I welded, or heated up to get some rubber out of it. I'm not sure that's even, wow, that's pretty close. What are your thoughts, Jacers?
Yeah, I think it's gonna hit the driveline, maybe.
It shouldn't move, is my theory. It should stay the same distance away from it, no matter where it's at in the arc.
What if you hit a rock so big it bends this and hits the driveline? Like you drop it like 50 feet onto a rock.
Well, then we got more problems. I'm just trying to decide if that's worth building those mounts or not. That's dang close to the driveline. So if it goes up, maybe I'll build 2 of those mounts, tack them in place, and we'll cycle it and see what it does. Old Pep, what are you thinking? Kind of fat on me. All right, she is 4 linked. We've got clearance in between the driveline. Everything's tacked in place. We're gonna go ahead and cycle it a little bit and see what it does. Oh, Betsy, don't fall off. So right there, we are gonna have interference, full droop. Okay, that's 14 inches. That's gonna be full travel right there. That's gonna be more than full travel. I think we're gonna be okay. I think it's gonna make it. We should have everything that we need out of it. All right, I guess we're winning. The suspension on the front, it's handled. Been a long couple of days. Now I can move on to the front frame rail and I'll get that done. But that's a whole nother video. So thanks for watching.